up onto the next news. Invincible season 3.
I was trying to think of a transition and I couldn't.
Speaking
of superheroes that fly.
Speaking of super stuff.
Speaking of superheroes that fly and deal with the government, Invincible just came out.
Wait, Cecil versus Mark. Captain America versus Ross. I don't know.
Spoilers for Invincible, by the way. We're going to be talking full spoilers. I won't spoil episode 4, though, because Phil hasn't watched it. Even though Phil has... Me and Phil... Okay, for the record, this is the first time we're talking about Invincible. Let me explain where we're both at in terms of what Invincible is. Me and Phil have both read all of the comics. We know a lot about, like, the character. I'm on Invincible Twitter. My Twitter is just Invincible. My TikTok, for the record, is just Invincible edits. I want you... Like, that's all it is right now. And I love it. I'm in heaven. So, me and Phil are going to... No, I'm not going to say Drew Best. We are not going to talk about the comic book at all. We're not going to tease. We're not going to say, oh, it's, like, cool that they mentioned this because it relates to that. Like... We're not going to get into that. We're just going to talk about the 3 episodes that came out and what we thought about them and some questions that I see people talking about that haven't read the comic book that I'm going to bring up to you because I want to know what you think. So, Invincible, episodes 1 through 3, Phil. What did you think?
Honestly, I loved it. The first episode, I was kind of like a little like teetering a bit, but it still flowed into episode 2 really well. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, episode 1 and 2 almost felt like a long one episode to me because it just flowed that well.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved that homeboy Doc Seismic was finally getting his
his get back.
Yeah.
His get back.
Yeah, because low key, like, I remember everybody was trashing on him in season 1 and they were all like, this guy's stupid, this guy's weird. I'm like, hey,
let him cook, bro.
Let him cook. He low key. This is the reason why I love Invincible. Like, it just, what's it called?
It always amps up.
Well, it's not just it amps up. It uses so many like different characters so well that you think would just be trash characters.
Characters that, like villains of the week.
Yeah, like the whole villains of the week thing was so funny to me when I heard it in Across the Spider-Verse because I'm like that's a perfect example. Like the Spot, we're thinking he's just gonna be this low tier character that shows up sometimes and just annoys the crap out of us, but then turns into this big like useful to the plot character. But like Invincible episode 1 obviously just a little bit slow for me for a sec, but Invincible 2 picked it up super well, and then Invincible season 3 episode 3, man,
they're cooking over there.
It wasn't just cooking, it was like that was what I've been waiting for. And the fact that now people are like, well, what's Ollie like, is he gonna do this, do that? I'm like, hey, keep putting these theories down, because I mean I know the right one, but I want to get more buzz because season 3 I need it to explode, bro. Dude,
it is. I've been keeping up with the IMDb score. Like,
isn't that 100 still?
Yeah, I know the Rotten Tomatoes audience was 100, or the critics was 100%.
Yeah.
I looked at their Metacritic for season 3. The user score is really low, but it's because it's a lot of like. Sorry, it's a lot of losers because it's a lot of people just hating on the animation and like dumbing it down and be like, oh, this show sucks. Look how bad it looks. Jujutsu Kaisen looks like this. Legend of Vox Machina looks like this. Yeah, we're not gonna have this conversation again. Watch. I forgot what episode episode 3. We talked about animation stuff.
Yeah.
But.
Oh no, episode
4.
6.
What episode are we on? How many times have we done this?
This is episode 6. Watch episode 6 of the Film Podcast.
5, because is this episode 6?
Nah, this has got to be episode like.
Anyways,
7.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A lot of people like to hate, and I was really happy to see the IMDb scores really high. Because I like that. I feel like it's more of a general audience. My friends are obsessed with it. Like, my friends are all in it. That's made me really happy. So it's been really nice to see a lot of, like, the controversies and the conversation and the theories behind the show. Because reading the comic, I was thinking a lot of these same things. And it's, like, it's fun to see other people react a very similar way.
This is episode 7.
Okay, cool. Episode 7. So, yeah. So you liked it. You're in?
Oh, I'm with Invincible.
I'm always in, yeah.
Like, I can literally, they can give me a whole season. Like, for example, if season 3 ends and then in season 4 we get a whole thing on a random character, and it's like nothing's going on, and then it's just build up for like one little episode, and then it showcases that, oh, it's a part of it. Like, for example, the Adam Eve spinoff special. Like, if it were to do that for a whole season, I would not care, because I'm like, okay, give me a little time to rest up, and then next season, because I know where this is going.
Yeah.
And I know that Amazon already said they're going to finish the story. So I don't give a crap about the stick in animation. I really don't. If they give me Stickman, I don't give a crap.
Dude, a guy said I was on TikTok and the guy was like, dude, you guys gotta chill out, bro. Like, it's very obvious when they're cooking.
Yeah.
Because episode 4, they adapt a really awesome fight. That's all I'll say. They adapt a really awesome fight in episode 4, and this guy was like, dude, I don't care if this show is just a bunch of stickmen bumping into each other so that when they do these fight scenes, they cook insanely hard. So yeah, I agree. I don't care. You know, I don't need every like instance of the animation to be perfect. I just need it to be good when it needs to be good. But Invincible 1 through 4, my review.
Yes, sir.
I love it to death. I like that you brought up the episode 1 thing.
Yeah.
Because I agree. I watched episode 1 and I was like, yeah, wait, this is really... I didn't love how they adapted the Doc Seismic stuff. Mm-hmm. I wish they maybe did a little more creative liberties and like making it a little bit more entertaining. Because it reads better than it's like watched. Because watching it, it felt really slow. But reading it, you could just jump through panels and you're scanning the each individual panel. It's not like animation where things are moving. It just, everything felt really off to me, and I don't think they did a lot to make it better, you know? So I didn't really care for it, but I was excited for what it was going to lead into, which was Mark vs. Cecil, episode 2, insane. I watched this scene over and over again of him like on there just yelling, and then it's like system and disabled or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just like changes his face, and he just like cuts it, and like he's beating all the dudes up. It was, oh my gosh, it was so perfect.
That was insane.
It was so perfect. The scene when he punches the human, the military guy, and he's like, he just like disintegrates. Like it was like a One Punch Man moment. Was so
that was
sick.
So tough, bro.
Yeah,
like low-key. Oh wait, my bad. This is your review.
No, sorry. It's awesome. And then yeah, episode 3 was probably the episode like in the whole man, I don't want to actually say that. That's a lie. Yeah. But I was really excited for what they were going to do in episode 3. So it was really fun to see. But what was more fun was to be able to talk about it with my friends after the fact, which was, we're going to spoil it. Spoilers for Invincible, which I said at the beginning. Oliver kills the Mahler twins. And I was ready for it the whole time.
Yep.
His look is the most devious look on planet Earth. I'm like, that kid, the way he looked and was like, that's what happens when you're a bad guy. Bro. I was like, dude, what? And then he had the audacity to be like, it was an accident.
Bro.
Dude, no, it wasn't. You walked to him. You slow walked, and he's like, I give up. And you just like uppercutted him. Dude, chill out, bro. It's not that deep.
I have a hot take.
Yeah.
I think that whole sequence right there was 1000% better than the comic book. I believe it was. Seeing that in motion, seeing his look, especially with blood on his face the way it was, because I'm not gonna lie, I think they did that for a reason to show like how mentally
he's very
unstable
evil.
he is.
Like, yeah.
But like in the well, no, I said I wasn't gonna talk about the comic.
We're not gonna talk about the comic.
Dang it! But I just think it looked way better in my opinion than what it was in the comic books.
Yeah, he cooked. Honestly, that whole scene was such a cook. Like it was awesome. I loved it. Episode 4, without spoiling it for you, even though you know what's gonna happen. Yeah. I really could spoil it, but I'm not, just so you can enjoy it. And it just came out. Invincible 3 came out a couple weeks ago, so if you haven't seen it, you don't want to watch it. Episode 4 was really good. I really liked it, and honestly, I'm really surprised with other people's reactions on it. A lot of people love it to death.
Yeah,
like geeking. I was like, oh, I remember reading this in the comic and like being like, oh, I really like this. So watching it was even better. I was like, oh, this is really like, I like this being adapted, but it always felt more of like a side thing. You know, it never really felt like a big major thing. It wasn't until the end where they adapt a really major thing, and I was really happy with how they did it. They cooked. The animation's really good. This was a really important part of the show, and I was really scared that they were going to mess it up. I'm always scared. I'm just a very nervous guy. And I was scared they're going to mess it up, and I was so happy with how well they did it. Yeah. Everything from the build-up to them getting this one thing and then doing this other thing, and then the finish-off was perfect. That was me being as vague as I could. Like...
That was perfect.
They really cooked, and it makes me very excited for the rest of the season, just in general. Like, I'm a lot more confident in what they're gonna cook, because this showed me that they cook when they need to cook.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, episode 4 really good. Also, dude, there's some shots in this episode. There's like a shot of just a character like standing, and it's in like a little like backstory drop.
Yeah.
So it like the animation looks a little bit different. It looks sick. It looks so cool. It was like I was like, that's a poster. Like that's something I would love to just have.
Oh, it was that good?
Yes, it looked really good. It was
can't wait to
awesome.
get back
The
on
art
after
direction
this
was
episode and watch
crazy. It was so good. But I love Invincible. I love it so much, and I know you do too.
Bro, I love Invincible. Like, I kept telling people, I keep always trying to put people on this because I'm like, they're like, yeah, I saw it was a superhero show, and I was like, I don't know if I have the time or really want to. And I'm like, no, you got to watch this one because this is not
Must watch television.
No, literally it is because it's not like any other like television superhero or even like film superhero show like you've seen. Like this gets into stuff that we always have questions about, like killing this and that, yada yada yada. Like this is real. Like that's all I can put it as. It's real, but I love Invincible, man.
Yeah. Before we move on real fast, there's a couple things. There's two things I want to talk about because I love seeing this in the community and just people like general audiences. Whose side are you on, Mark or Cecil's?
Mark.
Mark? Why?
I'm definitely on Mark, bro. I understand what Cecil was trying to say. You got to make the tough decisions, this and that, yada yada yada. But you also got to remember that you have a team. I know you're trying to protect the world, and I know that the job is like, because he's basically Nick Fury. He's basically,
but better, I think.
But better, 1000%. But like, you also got to realize you have teams of like superheroes with you that got feelings that you also have to manage super well. And it showed also. I love the episode. That was episode 2, right? When like everybody's leaving, and like some people left the Guardians of the Globe. You. That's the reason why you got to be better, so that stuff like that doesn't happen. And then like the situation with like, didn't he have miscommunication? I forgot. Like he had some miscommunication errors or something like that. But you got to be with your team and also with your A1. Invincible's your A1, so you got to make sure he's good. It's almost like a basketball team, a football team, or something like that. If like, I'm not trying to use the Lakers as an example. Maybe like LeBron with Cleveland. If you are trying to win the championship and you're trying to also make trades and you're talking to LeBron, that's your A1, and LeBron's going to be invincible in this situation. If you bring in a player that apparently he's had a problem with, like personally, like maybe did something to his family, did something to his friends, you bring him in and you don't tell him. Do you think LeBron is in the wrong to react the way he is?
No.
That's what I mean. So with Mark, to bring in somebody who has killed people and also who has messed with his friend, who has messed like physically with his friend, violently, you don't think that's gonna like mess with him somehow? It's just it's weird to me. Like, and I understand people, they're gonna be like, oh, he's just trying to protect the world, this and that, yada yada yada. But you got to remember, Mark went through some traumatic stuff, crazy traumatic stuff. And for you to bring a person like that on, who also can probably go crazy later on, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I was thinking about it a lot because I think Cecil's right in what he does in like wanting to reform people. But the way he went about that situation, and you're essentially sacrificing, like you said, your A1, your best superhero, you're the most powerful dude on earth.
Exactly.
You were like, nah, but we need this other guy because he could help. But it's like, yeah, but you have Invincible. You don't need really like a whole lot of other people else. So I agree. He handled that situation really bad, where he like, Invincible didn't do anything. He just walked in and was like, what are you doing? You're being stupid. And then like, Cecil obviously they're having a conversation where that's fine. But then he takes him into the white room and he's like, wait, why are we in here?
Yeah.
And then the monsters come out and he's like,
what the heck?
What is this? Like, what, protection from me? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not doing...
Bro, all he was yelling.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not doing anything. And he's like, really? Well, you're scaring me right now. So because you're scared, you're gonna like, I understand my Cecil's scared. He's just a dude. But like, Mark has shown his loyalty in every front.
Exactly.
Like, even when Anissa showed up, and even Cecil was like, just say you'll let him take over, just so she doesn't kill you. Yeah. He was like, no.
Yeah.
So, like, what more, like, faith do you need, like, proven here? Like, he's done everything. He almost died protecting Earth, and he's just, like, multiple times. So it's like, just because he killed one dude, you can't spin that back on him and be like, oh, well, you killed a guy. Should I put you in prison? It's two completely different situations. Two guys were just killing people to kill people because they were bad or whatever. He lost control, and he's very open about him losing himself. Yeah. And anyways, he was murdering his family. Like, he was about to kill his family. So it's just like, he felt like there was another option. So I just thought it was really, like, Caesar just handled that situation so poorly.
Bro, that was bad.
And then, like, in front of everyone, he was like, don't threaten me ever again. And, like, oh, who is my fault? You went off to go save your freaking just dad who destroyed the world. Like, don't you ever try and, like, do anything like that to me. He's obviously going to be pissed. And you just thought he was going to be like, okay, I'll go work with you again. It just didn't make any sense to me. I was like, dude, you're so dumb. Like, you fumbled the bag so hard.
I was so mad, bro. Like, I was just like, why is he talking to him like this? And then the Angstrom Levy comment when he said, like, you kill someone, like, exactly what that you said. I was like, bro, like, low-key, I stood in my seat. I was like, who the you talking to?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, Cecil so lucky I'm not invincible. Like, low-key, I would have been like, no hesitation the whole way. I would have been like, who you talking to?
Yeah.
I would have been like, wait a dang minute, bro. What's going on here?
And then related to that was my other question.
Yeah.
The way people have turned on Immortal is my favorite. Immortal sucks. And
Bro.
it makes me so happy that people like, because when I was reading, I never really thought about like him never really doing anything. He literally doesn't do anything. And I needed someone to tell me that he doesn't. He was like, bro, this guy gets pieced up every single episode. Like, he lost to Omni-Man in the first season twice. Season 2, he's just kind of there. Season 3, and then he quits because he loses again. Remember, he like tries to like be like, no, Invincible, let me do it. And he's like, no, I'm way better than you. Let me do it. And he's like, okay. Like, he's just. I saw someone say the only good thing he's ever done was abolish slavery.
That's why. That leads to my next point. I do not hate Abraham Lincoln, but I hate the Immortal. I hate him. I hate him. Ever since I've seen his stupid face, I've never liked that guy.
Dude, even Kate pissed me off.
Bro, Kate.
Dude, when she was like, I went through arguably more than all of you. No, you didn't.
Let's talk about that scene.
No, you didn't. You went through like not even half as much as they went through, because she doesn't feel the pain.
Yeah.
I think she can remember it. Like she knows, but she didn't feel it. So like you can like see like yourself getting killed, whatever. But like these dudes only got one life and they almost died.
Yeah.
And you're out there somewhere else just like chilling. Yeah, I went through more, the same, if not more than you.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, it was just the most ignorant comment I think I've ever heard in my entire... Nah, that's not true. But, like, in a show, I was like, that's the most ignorant thing you could say. You're an idiot. You did not go through anything compared to what they went through. And then Immortal's like, yeah, do you know who Cecil is? He's the best. Like, we're the guardians of the globe. Dude, you are an awful leader.
Bro, let's also remember how good the Guardians of the Globe were before the Viltrumite, or before Omni-Man came.
Yeah.
Let's remember that. Let's also remember how well they've done on their own without Mark. Like, what really? I think Guardians of the Globe is a freaking joke. Like,
now it is, yeah.
No, let's be for real. Even at the beginning, the teen team was way more entertaining than them.
I disagree. But they're so dope. Remember when they helped I guess they almost lost.
You see, they almost lost the freaking Mauler twins in season 1.
That's true.
They were until Omni-Man comes, and they were even scared of Omni-Man.
Yeah, dude, Rex soloed the Lizard League.
That too.
Yeah.
Rex, let's talk about how good of a character Rex has been now.
He's so awesome.
He is a W friend.
All right, so Phil, we got cut off because of our technical difficulties, but we were yelling about how great Rex Splode is, I think.
I think he's been great so far.
Oh, dude, he's so good, dude.
I think he's been great.
Yeah, man, I love what they're doing with him. His redemption arc is, I think, one of the best I think I've ever seen in a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. I love it. It feels so smooth. I like what they're doing with him and Ray.
Yeah,
they're building something there. There's about to be a relationship.
But it's also showing that he's becoming a better person too. Because I love that scene when he goes into his room because he's offering her like a room, because they're kind of like building off of like their trauma too, but you can also see he's changed. But he goes into his room and he's like, wow, I didn't notice I was this dirty or this me.
Yeah.
And then like they laugh for a sec, but he also starts picking up his stuff, but he's taking criticism because she threw like a jab at him and he was like, yeah, that was really me. And I was like, okay, Rex. And he picks up a clothing piece and he wraps it up or like folds it. And I was like, bro, that is definitely like growth right there. Like that is so cool. And then even when he kind of did like a rise up type moment when the Guardians had that whole thing, and then like you said, Kate was trying to talk that mess, going like, I went through more than you did, this and that. And even Immortal was being like an a-hole, talking this and that. He was all like, nah, I'm out, bro. Like, this is stupid. We should have been just with the teen team, this and that. But like I said, bro, like Rex, he's been a W this season.
Yeah, he has been. I love him. He's awesome.
Man, but speaking of some powerful worlds, bro, we gonna roll it back real quick to Invincible Season 3, Episode 5.
Season 3, Episode 5 of Invincible. We have 3 weeks left of Invincible.
Yes,
Do you think about that? We have 3 weeks left, man. I am getting emotional just saying that. I don't want the show to end. I don't want the show to end. But the creator said that we're going to go to yearly, and people are like, oh, the animation's so cooked. But we're not going to have this conversation again. Invincible Season 3, Episode 5. Phil, what did you think?
Bro, I really liked it. I'm not going to say it was my favorite episode because I think either Episode 2 or 3 was my favorite episode, but I still really liked this one. We got the homeboy Titan back.
Oh, yeah, he's back.
We got to see him in low-key.
It's Mahershala Ali, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably who I was hearing because I was like, bro, he sounds super familiar.
Who is this dude?
Like, every single time I listen to these new characters come in or old characters, I keep hearing a voice, and I'm like, I've heard this voice before in like a movie. And I'm like, wait, that's this person. That's that person. I'm like, bro, they have an all-star cast. That just shows you how good of voice casting they are, bro. Like,
yeah, but if
so
they put that voice cast into the animation. Sorry. Anyways.
It's all good. But Titan's super smart, bro. He's actually pretty smart.
He played... no, what's the dragon guy's name? I always forget it.
Forgot his head.
It doesn't matter. Oh, Mr. Xiao.
Yeah.
Dude, he played him so incredibly hard. It was so sick. Low-key, I forgot about the storyline in the comics. So when they throw Titan off the building and Isotope's just like, yeah, Titan's dead. Yep, no way you survived that fall. You know, like I was like, oh, dude, like I'm pretty sure I know Titan's not dead, but I'm like, where is this going? And then when they get Machine Head out and he shoots, Mr. I was like, dude, yes, bro, it's so cool.
It was a smart decision because he was thinking, yo, I can't do this on my own. I can't actually take him. But you could tell he always thinks ahead, and I think that just comes with him being a parent too. Because I also love how they're giving us like his parent story arc a little bit more, and they're showing like how important his family is to him. Yeah. But also like how he plans ahead, because in the first season he always talked about how that neighborhood was bad.
And you look at it now and it's like
it was nice.
There's a private school there, bro.
Yeah. But I love that, bro. I love that he is that detailed, and the way he played Invincible too. And he had people. At first, I thought the guys who were in that like area, I didn't know those were his guys. I thought they were guys just looking out, like maybe trying to kill him and take his spot. But apparently, those were guys that trust him, because when I saw all the hoods when Invincible came out the sewer and they all had the hoods on, and then one of them took them off and he's like, hey, we all don't look alike. I was like, that is so cool, Titan. That is how like loyal and tight he is with everybody in that area. But that is so like Titan was cool in that episode, bro. But also that opening scene with Multi-Paul, oh my gosh, bro.
Dude, that made me so uncomfortable.
I'm not saying I cringed, but I just literally was like, ooh,
can we stop? Like, this is
okay,
too much.
all right, let's chill out, bro.
Yeah, that was probably one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever seen.
At first, I was like, what is he doing? Is he trying to stack himself up? And then when it kept on growing and growing, I'm like, is he trying to...
Dude, I picked up on it right away, and I was like I'm like looking for the realm. Like, I can't.
You're like, skip.
I watched it all, but I'm just like... Dude, when he like it's going and then they're like, oh, and then like and they start, I'm like, bro, like we gotta stop. This is too much.
Yeah.
That, weirdly enough, that was like probably the second most disgusting thing the show's ever done.
That's so surprising too, because we've seen more. I feel like it didn't show like a lot of the body parts, but it still showed a lot.
Oh my gosh,
that was
so
disturbing.
Gross, so gross. And he feels all of that too, by the way.
He was up hanging on the thing, going like, ooh,
yeah.
Oh boy. I was like, how are you not going insane? But like also I like how it gave us the duplicate and the Multi-Paul story. Yeah. And like how like they grew up and stuff. I also want to point out Multi-Paul can fight, bro.
Yeah, dude, that dude's so dope.
Fight. The way he was having them clones come out and like
when he played Adam Eve was cool.
Oh, that was really cool.
So sick.
I was like, you might want to check the base if there's another Multi-Paul around, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I like how she flew off camera and then he just walks up. He's like,
yeah. I'm like, bro, that was so cool. But that I also loved like Oliver and Mark fighting his brothers. Like when they were at the table and he like kept on kicking him. He's like, ow, hey, because
Mark and Eve were up too late last night playing, and I couldn't. And like, we were watching a movie.
I was like, Oliver, come on, bro.
Dude, that was so funny. That scene so much funnier than the comics. You know what they do in the comics?
I forgot.
Eve flies
I
out.
thought we said we weren't going to talk about the comics.
No, but this is just because this is so light. This is so incredibly light. Eve flies out of the house and Debbie's like sleeping because like earlier, remember when they like, hey, he's like, oh, I'm just sleeping. The show being like, oh, we're gonna completely play into this like, yeah, they were up all night playing. So funny, dude.
Bro, that
so
was
funny.
so awesome, man. But I also like the scene when Oliver was with like the kids.
Oh
when he went
yeah,
out to play.
dude. Oh my gosh, way to make me love Oliver even more, man.
That
That
was
kid,
such a good scene, man.
such a good scene, dude.
And it also showed that he can be a normal kid because, like,
Yeah.
like any other Viltrumite, if they crashed like and fell the way he did, because in this scene he was practicing skateboarding. Like any other scene, he would have like thrown the skateboard, maybe tried to kill the kids or something if he was an actual Viltrumite. But he just got back up, tried it again and again and again until he got it. And then finally, when those bullies came over and they're like, "What are you doing here?" I thought low-key was gonna kill him. But then right when he pants them, I was like, yo!
What a guy. What a guy.
That was such a good scene, bro. But I appreciate it. Was there any other thing before I get to this last part?
One thing.
Yeah.
Unless you're about to talk. Unless this is the last part.
Yeah.
Rex and Ray.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to
Dude.
put that down, but I really like I like what they're doing.
I love their relationship. It's
love
so good. It's so natural, and it was not what I was expecting at all. Like, zero expectation that they were going to do that. And
Yeah.
now it's going. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Once again, Rexplode.
Being the absolute GOAT. Being
Bro,
the absolute GOAT.
He's been a W this season, and I'm getting worried because I'm like, what if they're trying to make us like him because something else is about to happen?
Dude, stop. Don't even say that. Don't even say that.
Bro,
I don't,
because it's going too good. Like, it's
it is
going way too good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm liking him. He's W-mans right now, bro.
Such W
He's
man. bro.
W-mans.
He's getting rizzy. He's getting rizzy.
He literally is, though. That
He
scene when he was cooking, I'm like, bro, that's
What a
that's what a
guy.
man does,
What a
bro.
guy.
That's a good way, man. He's learning. But to finish it off, Mark and Eve fighting in the prison.
Sick.
Bro,
Mark's gotta stop getting beat up though. That's all I'm saying, bro. I love this character so much, man.
Hey.
He's getting killed. He's getting beat up. Eve, where are you, Eve? Come on, dog.
it's gonna be okay. But that scene where Eve puts on that armor and then she turns into a wrecking ball or something.
Oh my gosh, bro! I geeked. Sorry, I
Bro.
spit everywhere. I geeked so much. Like,
Oh my
dude, holy
gosh.
crap, that was so sick. He like put the rope. I'm like, what? And then she's like, and like the thing goes around it, and he just like, it was so cool.
Bro, I was like, bro, they already got that crazy chemistry right now. I just can't wait for the future, bro. But like, the music that was playing in the background when they started fighting,
It was a good song, yeah.
Zhao, right?
Yeah.
Bro, that
double
was
check,
such a
but-
good. Bro, this show does so well with picking soundtracks or music to go along with certain scenes.
They do.
Like it's. They need to do a study on that, bro. I want to understand how you guys pick these songs out. Like, do you use ChatGPT? Do you ask it like what scene would go well with this or
I have
what?
it wrong. It's Mr. Liu. Mr. Liu.
Oh, Mr. Liu.
Okay,
My bad.
Mr. Liu. Mr. Liu. I'm gonna figure out why I said Jiao, but keep talking. Keep talking.
No, that's
keep talking.
okay. But bro, it's just certain songs go so well with this, like with certain action scenes and certain moments in the show, and it's like I just wonder how they're picking up on that. Like, I wonder how they're judging it. I wonder what like vibes they're going off of, because it's been songs that I don't even expect, and it works super well. Like, you hear the first beat, and you're like, okay, all right, and then it just keeps going. Like, they use Run the Jewels a lot. If you guys don't know, that's a duo rap group that I actually liked when I heard in I think I heard them for the first time in Black Panther. That was the first time I was introduced to them. Legend Has It, that's the first song I heard from them. And I was like, wow, this group is good. And I would listen to them a million times in the gym or even on the basketball court when I was practicing. But then like I would hear them over and over again in the Invincible series. And I'm like, bro, like are these songs that they had in the past, or is this just songs they're picking out? Because it's like a mix of different things like rock and roll, hip hop, R&B, a little bit of soul, a little bit of just like even some just like mood setters. But I just want to know how they're doing it, bro, because it's awesome.
So before we do our annual cut, I know why I was saying Zhao. It's because it's the villain in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
And like I don't know why I was having that connection, that problem, but anyways, I wanted to make sure we correct that.
Yeah,
We like Invincible. We're not stupid. I just forgot a name. Leave me alone.
it's okay, man.
All right, let's talk
Invincible.
about it. All right, guys. Spoilers for Invincible, Season 3, Episode 6 and 7. Next week is the finale. And if I'm being honest, I'm sad.
Yeah.
I don't want the show to end. I really don't. Like, I wish, like, I wish they would do what they did with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where it would just like they kept going until it was done. I'm glad these people get their time to work on it though. That's what they need. But Phil, what did you think about episode 6 and 7?
Well,
You want to give me a number score?
oh yeah, I want to give you a number score. Episode 6, I'm giving a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Episode 7, I'm giving it 10 out of 10.
Episode 6, I'm giving a 10 out of 10. Episode 7, I'm giving a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Both episodes to me are perfect examples of why I love this show so much, because they're two different. 7 is big. 6 a lot slower, and it's very like villain of the week. You know, like but it's perfect.
Oh
it's,
yeah.
That's how I want a villain of the week. A character that I genuinely feel bad for, but I also think is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm like invincible. Like what do you, like I don't know. Like when you can feel exactly how the character's feeling in the show, where you're like what do you do in this situation?
Exactly.
He's not completely wrong, but he's also kind of stupid.
Yeah.
You know, like it just worked for me really well. And then episode 7, dude. Invincible War, it's freaking exceptional.
That was crazy.
It's so good. It's so good. And they add so much to the comic. Not actually, I don't want to say so much. But they add a couple things that I loved. I know we don't like talking too much comic talk here, but since it came out, like I want to talk about some of the similarities. I won't talk about anything after. But like the Omnivincible and
that was crazy.
Mask Invincible, that them fighting Eve and Mark, that doesn't happen in the comic book.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. And it was so good. That's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like that I love. They draw out the Mark versus Angstrom fight way more in the show than they do in the comic. I think in the comic, it's like 4 to 5 panels.
It's quick.
It's so fast. This dude, it's like a full thing. So good. What else, dude? I don't know. It just feels like everything, like, they've done such a great job developing it.
Yeah.
It feels like every character that was like maybe going through something, when like the camera cuts to like, let's say the Guardians of the Globe with Shapesmith and Black Samson, you see them all messed up.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, like holy crap. But then you see Immortal and you're like, who cares? This guy sucks. Bro got pieced up. I'm sorry, dude. How are you going toe to toe basically with Omni-Man and you lost to Invincible? Like a weaker version of Invincible.
Yeah.
What happened, bro? He fell off so hard. But
I mean, you know how I feel about Immortal, bro, but like I just don't like him. I never have. And the fact that once again he gets his head chopped off, and then this time it was way more disrespectful.
And then he throws it at Duplicate, bro.
No, not just that. Brody kicks the head up like a soccer ball and throws it at Duplicate.
Dirty. That was so dirty.
Bro, I literally looked at that, and then after he was like, dang it, man, I killed him too quick again. I was like,
bro,
that is so savage.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about, I want to bring this one thing up. So before I do, though, I want to say how much I love that Robert Kirkman is involved with the show, like heavily. It almost seems like he's a sticking director of it. He might be, but I know there's other people involved with it, like Seth Rogen and this and that. But he's going through, he's deciding what is important to tell and what can be changed up, obviously. But like, for example, like you said, Omnivincible and like the Masked, whatever, the Executioner Invincible, like those weren't in the show, but it made it more, I mean, in the comic book, but it made it more impactful in the show.
Omnivincible dies in the comic book, fun fact. Yeah.
Okay. I got to read it again.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me that, all right, I'll just bring this comment up because I'm thinking about it and I'm like,
let's do it.
It's changed. That's why I'm bringing it up. All right, so on Instagram, a person named Hip Like Curly commented on the post and said, yes, Zack Snyder is the blueprint, even though the show is based off the comics that came out years earlier. But yeah, sure. So this is referring to a clip about the season 3, episode 6 of the beginning of the Powerplex arc. We all know the stuff that happened earlier in episode 6 did not happen in the comic books. And I'm talking about his literal point of view of Invincible fighting Omni-Man in season 1. That did not happen, or that it wasn't shown to us in the comics. So the reason why I say Zack Snyder's the blueprint is because right when he's coming out of a building, instantly, destruction, he flies, he gets knocked out for a sec, wakes up, sees Invincible standing over his sister, right? His sister's dead body and holding her arm. Because in season 1, Those were the same two people he tried to save before.
I loved that callback so
that
much. I loved it.
Oh my gosh, that was so good and so well executed. Because if you remember season 1, episode 8, you remember that was like Invincible's first like super serious like crazy fights, and he's trying to help as many people as possible, and all of them are dying, and him almost saving that mom and daughter. And then him holding onto that arm, we remember his point of view of it. It's like, holy crap. But then seeing Powerplex's point of view.
It's so different.
And not knowing what's going on. And then seeing just the first image is him just holding his sister's arm. Even though that's not what really happened. But that's what he sees. And then him flying off. It's like, whoa. Yeah. Okay, we understand why he's mad. He's confused, but it gave us more depth because I was reading the comic again and I'm like, oh, we don't really understand why he's doing all this. And then he tells later like, oh, for Jessica. And then we don't know who the heck Jessica is. But then later he's like, oh, remember in the fight with you and Omni-Man? But seeing it in the show like that was crazy. And that definitely reminded me of Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah,
I'll be
you
for
immediately
real.
resonate with him too. Like seeing that, like
yeah,
so harshly, because seeing like a human's point of view when the world is like destroying around you, for me, yes, it's very obviously a reference to Batman vs. Superman. That's what my first thought was.
Instantly.
Oh, this is so cool. I like it so much more than Batman vs. Superman because a lot of it was like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here. I'm like fuzzy on Batman vs. Superman, but like Batman's whole reason for hating Superman was, look at the destruction that you being here and your like family like coming here, look what it's causing. Whereas opposed to Powerplex, it was, no, like you literally let my family die.
Yeah.
You know, like, because to him, he's not seeing like Mark. He sees it briefly, but then he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Where he's like pushing up against the thing.
Exactly.
He doesn't see where he like tries to grab them and hold on to them, and then the building falls. Whatever.
Yeah.
So literally, to Powerplex, it's no. You probably killed my family. You and Omni-Man fighting. I couldn't really get behind Batman's reason for hating Superman completely, like hating him.
Yeah.
I understand not liking him, but like, to be fair, like you can see Superman very obviously trying to protect the world.
Yeah.
But Scott's entire perspective was like, oh, look at you push against this building, look at you fall through a building, and then your dad pick you up and fly away.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like you did anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like the perspective more, and I feel like you're able to resonate with him way more than you were with Batman.
I am going to agree with you, only because I love this execution. Now, I believe me, I do love Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition. I do. But the way it was executed in here, you put it perfectly. Like, his point of view showed pieces of what happened compared to Batman's point of view, where you can, like you said, clearly see Superman trying to defend the world. Like, it just happened. His point of view showed, like, to us, that, whoa, from his point of view, Invincible looks like the evil guy who literally just came in and smashed everything. Batman's point of view was, look what you did, bro. Look what type of fight you brought in. Like, you ruined everything. I'm going to kill you now. That's what I love.
Did Batman even lose anyone important, like, when that happened?
Yes,
they say someone's name, right? But it's like, who is that?
Well, not just that. He had a phone call because it's somebody who was in charge of his building. So I think we don't. The only difference is we don't understand how much. That's my gripe with the execution of it. We don't understand how deep it was. Like, maybe in the show you could give us like what they. That's what I love too about Invincible season 3, episode 6. They showed his name's Scott Powerplex, talking with the two, his sister and her daughter, before it happens, and it gives us like, shows us their relationship, and that was perfect compared to in Batman vs. Superman, where it's like, Scott, how's the building, like, is everything okay, like, how are you? And I understand, like, yeah, it still shows that maybe he does know this person out of work and everything, but we still don't have enough time to like get to know.
We don't actually know that, you know.
Yeah, we don't actually know that. We could, for all we know, it's just a work friend that he just knows pretty well. But with this, that's his sister, that's his niece. They both died, and then all he saw was pieces. All he saw was Invincible fly off. So that's why I love that scene so much, bro. And it hit harder because I was like, wow, like, this is a reasonable thing compared to the comic books where it's just like, we don't know what the heck's going on. We don't know why this guy's putting on a suit and like testing it. This,
because it's a lot more drawn out. Like, the mystery behind it's a lot more drawn out.
It was like, it showed us exactly what was going on.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Yeah. And then episode 7, do you have like a lot to say about like the whole war, just other than the fact that it was so dope? Is there anything specific you want to talk about? Like,
it's just so hard to like differentiate it because I think it just went so well with the comics. I just think the Angstrom Levy one, definitely more emotion there. Like,
Oh, dude,
with
yeah.
the drones
when
and everything.
He's holding like this, and then
Oh
like
my
he takes
gosh,
a step in, and then he just like, and the music hits. It's so good. Yeah, that ripped. Oh
that
my
was so
gosh.
good. But I'm trying to think of what else was like really good. Obviously, Homeboy shows up, but
Yeah, I want to talk about that at the end.
yeah, I don't want to talk about that yet. But I'm trying to think of any maybe all the Invincibles. I love how Steven voiced
Yes,
them.
you're right. Oh my gosh. Yes, dude.
Yes.
That was so good.
That
I
was so
forgot about
good.
that. He made every single one actually feel different.
And they all sounded different too.
Yes. Oh my
Like
gosh.
when I first heard that, like saw that, because I love the whoever is in charge of Invincible social media account on Instagram or whatever.
Admincible? Yes.
Yeah,
Admincible.
like
Go.
I love it because when they first showed that post saying Stephen Wan was
Yes, and
voicing
it was like
everyone,
yeah.
I was thinking, okay, he's just gonna voice them, or maybe like it'll be silent for a couple of them. Every single one was different. Every single one. That's awesome. That was very good voice acting, and like my favorite one had to be the Joker one inside the tower, killing all the like when we were talking about. I call him Joker because he seemed as crazy as the Joker.
Which one?
The one where
What does he look like? What's his
Immortal was fighting him.
Oh, the no goggles one?
Yeah. He was fighting him inside the tower, and then remember he was doing everything like Omni-Man. He grabbed stinking
Yes, Darkwing, and he
Darkwing and slammed it. I was like, whoa, wait.
And I was like, do it again. He didn't get to do it again.
I felt bad for Shay Smith though. When he was making fun of Shay Smith, I was like, he was like,
that guy's so weird. What did he say?
he was like, oh no, you're gonna unalive me. Oh no. I was like, bro, I love this Invincible and hate him at the same time because he's just being so disrespectful. And then when Immortal punched him, he's like, bro, you ruined the vibes.
Yeah.
I was like,
bro,
this is so perfect, bro.
You really get to see their difference when they're all standing in the circle around each other. And like Mohawk Invincible is like, wait, you're such a loser, because the one in the mess like, I miss my mom, like I want to bring her back. And then the other one was like, I miss William. And like those two were kind of similar, but it's like the Omni Invincible being very like cold, and just like Cape Invincible being very much like crazy, and like just like Mohawk Invincible being like kind of like a douche, like he's very cocky. I don't know. There's just so much, like you can tell that from like 7 lines of dialogue that they have, because Stephen Ewan like does it so good. He's very talented. I like him a lot. He's so good. Now let's talk about our guy showing up. The reveal of Conquest. And I want to talk about the one thing we can talk about.
Yeah.
Is what's so cool is who's voicing him. Here's the thing. Do you like the voice?
Yes.
I'm not sold.
I like it.
I wish it was a lot more like, I think the best word I could say is booming. Like it doesn't have that like big, like scary, like Thanos like thing, which is how I always envisioned like Conquest to sound. I wanted the dude that voices, if anyone's ever played God of War Ragnarok, I really wanted the dude that voices Thor in that game to play Conquest, but it didn't happen. It's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yep.
Who, I'm going to spoil The Walking Dead for you guys.
Oh, I know.
Spoilers for The Walking Dead. Here is a wrestling WWE reference, Walking Dead reference, and Invincible reference all in one Walking Dead tweet. And producer, I think you'll like this, so listen closely. Okay? So Jeffrey Dean Morgan is voicing Conquest, and if you guys don't know, in The Walking Dead, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character kills Stephen Ewan's character.
Yeah.
And that was a big like turn off for a lot of people. A lot of people hated it. So them now obviously fighting again in Invincible.
Yep.
The Walking Dead Twitter tweeted, they're like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, destined to do this forever. If you guys don't know, in WWE, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are two wrestlers that also always fight each other. Like, no matter what, they're always going to fight. So, I don't know. I just love that tweet a lot. I retweeted it. But it's really cool, like, reference. Like, even if it was intentional or not, I think it was. Robert Kirkman being, obviously, showrunner of Walking Dead and creating both Walking Dead and Invincible, like, to me it feels like a reference. Like he's like, all right, let's have him fight again, let's have him duke it out. And I wasn't sold on the voice again. Like I don't love it. I don't hate it though. I'm not like, this sucks. I was just expecting something different, and I think that's valid. Yeah, and that's okay. Like as long, I'm not turned off by it though. I want to see him. He has an entire episode to cook, so we'll see if I like him by the end. That's something you guys will have to wait till next week. But anything else you want to say about Invincible?
I don't mind you saying that, like, without a doubt, because I think it's valid. But it just sucks because I want to say this, but like I feel like it's a spoiler. The reason why I love that voice is because I feel like they're just getting us ready for something else.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say, for something else.
We'll talk about it off. There's something I want to talk about to you about
Yeah.
off camera that I think maybe we have the same thing in mind.
Yeah, but that's the reason why like I love this too, because he sounds fine to me. Like for Conquest, he sounds fine.
I've heard it a lot of times now, and I think I'm getting a little bit more comfortable. Like I'm getting
Exactly.
used to it, but it just wasn't what I was expecting.
I think he's gonna cook in episode 8 too, but like I just think that they are saving somebody else for something else. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep it cryptic because I know hella people hate it when they get spoiled for stuff like that.
And Invincible fans love spoiling the comics so much.
Oh yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like some of them fans kind of got into it. Like they aren't, because you know we're talking about the one fan, the one person who.
Yeah,
who be
people
posting it
don't.
over and
People
over again.
love spoiling Invincible. So like, for all you people that know the comic, can we just please refrain
Yeah.
from spoiling it? Like, I just don't understand. I've made sure to tell my friends like stay away from socials for like when the season's done, because I think like for them it'll die down. A beef that I do have, even outside of the comic book real fast, is y'all spoil the episode like the morning it comes out.
That is true.
I wake up at 8 a.m. and I'm like, why am I already seeing Invincible? The episode came out at 12 o'clock. Luckily for me, I stay up, so I watch it. So I'm not really seeing anything. But of Invincible Season 3, full spoilers.
Right? On the scale of 1 to 10, it's a 15.
Let's go 15.
15.
This is one of the
15.
best episodes
Holy
ever
crap.
invented.
Holy crap, bro! What just happened?
What just happened?
What was that? What? They gave me more than I wanted, and I still felt like I was satisfied, bro.
Dude, I wrote a high after watching it.
They literally. Let's talk about the opening. Let's talk about the fact that they didn't waste no stinking time.
No,
they didn't waste no stinking time.
You know what's funny?
Boom.
They don't even replay the "stand ready for my arrival."
Exactly.
And then it's just immediately.
Bro, I literally, I was like, I started the episode. I was like, all right, what do you think? How long is it going to take? Whoa! What? And then like all you see is like you hear the impact. And then I even saw the stills of every time they like punched each other with actual force, and it showed like the really cool like shots. It sounds like an anime, but
Yeah, the impact frames, right?
But
When
bro,
they hit and it like, you know.
the stinking circle of the impact getting bigger and everybody getting blown away. I was like, oh, y'all in for an episode today. Y'all, that was insane, bro. Like, and then like they animated it so well, and I want to talk about that. We literally said, we don't care how the animation looks, like sometimes, as long as they animate the fights really well.
Yeah, I got no complaints now. Yeah, just give it a hand. So
That was the fight of Invincible. The fight. I want to hear what you got to say, though, with the opening. How did you feel?
So I'm not gonna lie, I was worried. Let me explain. So I start the episode and the fight hits, they do the punch, and then like explosion, whoa.
Yeah.
The beginning of the fight is very much, I feel like, akin to the level we've seen from like this season.
Yeah.
You know, not super insane, good punches, great sound design.
Oh, man.
But like nothing too insane. For me, it doesn't start until he gets slammed to the ground and he's laying there and like the sun shines over him.
Yeah.
And then he looks up and he's like,
Boom.
and then the glass is breaking
my
without fast.
gosh.
And he just like, and he gets thing, and the whole like town gets leveled.
Yeah.
Dude, that was it for me. That's when I was like, oh, we're here. Like we're in. And then when now we're gonna keep going. So then he punches him. They're flying. The shot of Oliver trying to catch up to them, and then Invincible's just spinning and gets hit again, and then he's just like and like going through everything. The difference between him when Omni-Man does it and he's able to plant his feet in the ground and catch himself, this time he could not catch himself. He's going through the buildings to the side, going through them, lands into the big gas truck and explodes, and he's just like, dude, and then he tries to get up. The animation was so smooth. It was so smooth. The way he like tried to get up and like his hair, dude, they animated his hair so good. And then when Conquest is flying at him and he goes,
wait,
stop! And like he like the way his face had so much expression. I'm like, what am I was like I was watching a different show.
Exactly.
That's the best animated thing that we've seen, even from the first season. Like, I was like, dog, what the balls, man? Like, I don't get it. How? It was so perfect, but I want to get to something that they do way better than the comics, and it's
There's 2 things they did.
yeah, they do a lot actually. They add a great amount, but when
3, never mind 3.
you know what's so funny? Debbie, so Oliver's like, I can go help, and Debbie's like, don't get grabbed. Bro got grabbed so fast. He didn't even try. He punched him once. He's like, get ready for the ass kicking of your life. And he goes and just gets smacked in the face.
I was like, dang.
Dude. And then when he's grabbing him and he's like about to rip him out.
That
dude,
was so, oh my gosh. Go in.
For me, it became too much when Oliver started crying. It became real. Like, I don't know. It was just like, dude, no. Like, chill out. Like, I don't know why I actually thought he was gonna die. Like, I was like, wait, stop, no, please.
I thought he was too.
Dude.
I was like, wait, are they changing it?
And then, obviously, Invincible punches him, whatever. They finally get out. Eve's like, I gotta go help him. When Eve shows up, oh, I'm skipping something.
Yes,
when
you are.
He punches him, and there he's going through the water, whatever. And then they go.
Forgot another
like,
thing.
What's the thing?
Remember when they got into space?
Oh,
Bro, I went. This guy's a stinking demon.
dude, aura, bro.
He's a demon.
Conquest is aura farming that whole episode.
That was
I
crazy.
can't. Yeah,
he
that was
blew
crazy.
a blood bubble, turned it into a heart, and popped it when Invincible was thinking he had him.
Huh? Like you went, huh?
I was like, bro, you need to run. I would have ran, bro. He blew I don't know if I'm emphasizing this really well to you guys. He blew a blood bubble. A blood bubble.
And then made it into a heart.
I thought he was just going to pop it. He just went, and he just blew it to him, and then, or popped it. I was like, I understand now. I understand why they don't like you, bro.
Yeah.
I understand why they're scared of you, but continue, sorry.
So yeah, then like he's rolling, he's flying, and he's like shh, about to get into the water, and he's like, oh, you're fast, but not faster than me. And he's like flying over him while Invincible's like flying. They get in the water, whatever, and then they do a callback to season 1. They finally get to that town, and he rams through. He's going so fast that he just like everyone's dying around him. Okay, and then they finally get on the floor. That scene is done. That scene, by the way, insane. Again, it became too much when the kid holding his dad's hand loses his dad and his entire arm. That was crazy.
They're gonna call back to that too, I bet you.
Yeah, probably. But then they're on the floor, they're fighting, whatever, and he's like, you still think like you have any chance? Like, what is wrong with you? You're dumb. Like, this is stupid. And then he like punches him, whatever, and then Eve puts his shield and he gets Helen back. And then the way Mark is just like, please no. Like no. And then when Conquest hits Mark's leg and the bone pops out, and now it's just Eve versus Conquest, which I need to know, what do you think about this? Because that fight is so good.
That fight was really good.
They finally made Eve like great. It's so perfect.
Bro,
when
I loved that. I loved every second, every fight that was going on, whether if it was Ollie or Eve or Invincible, everyone was going in. We're going to get to the part where I'm like, this is what I mean later, but I still want to go in about the stuff we're on.
She then, like, changes the density of the earth so he can't move his arm. And then she freaking goes to town on him. She's like, boom, boom, big hammer, bang, bam, boom, bow. And then he's like, you're tired. You don't got a chance against me. And he's like, I could tell you only got so much left in you. And then, because Jeffrey Dean Morgan kind of sounds country. I'm not wrong on that, right? I like it too. You know, fun fact, let's go back. At the end of the last episode, I didn't love them casting Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't what I was expecting, but we'll see.
I loved it.
Dude, I was shut up so fast. I was like, yep, okay, I had nothing to worry about.
I told you, let him cook.
Like, and yeah, so he's like, you know, like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. yo. And then he like freaking punches her in the face. Then she becomes like she looks like a clicker from The Last of Us, and like her face like starts sprouting.
That scared me.
And then and it was like, dude, I'm gonna call it to one of my friends. One of my friends, she's watching it, and she goes, my last name's Aramia, because we have 2 Isaiahs in our group, and I'm watching it with the other Isaiah as well. So she's like, Aramia, actually, and I'm just sitting there like this, like, try to make no reaction. And like I could hear like the like stages of grief set in where she's like already about to start. It's like, no, like this is not. And then like it reflects perfectly what Invincible is going through. He's like, no, and he catches her and he's like, please, like this is another thing. I'm about to start crying right now. When he is sitting there and he's like, I can't do this, I can't live without you. And he starts yelling for Cecil.
Yeah.
Dude, the expression on his face and the tears running down his face. Ugh. It's so good. Yeah. Cecil! Where are... Like, it's so good. Why didn't Cecil show up, bro? He probably would have died if I'm being honest. So maybe he should.
I'm going to get to that later.
And then Conquest does this little monologue and he's like, you know, I thank you. You know, I don't know what you did to piss us off, but you did it. And now I get to cut loose.
That was crazy.
And then, like, they fight, whatever. He's like, I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how fast you are. I get to the future. You don't live to see tomorrow. On Discord, you can set your own status. That has been my status quote for the past year. Since last year, I've had it. And my friends would ask me, Isaiah, what is that quote? I go, I don't know. So we were watching it. They're like, Isaiah, that's what your quote is. And then, like, yeah. But I want to talk about one thing that's really awesome.
Yep.
When he has them pinned on the floor, Conquest has Mark pinned down, and he goes, I'm so lonely. I was like, whoa, bro, what kind of freaky stuff you trying to get into? Anyways, like he's like, I'm so, that entire monologue, not in the comics, nothing. That is completely new. And it adds so much depth to that character because you don't fully understand Conquest besides him being the oldest Viltrumite, the strongest, and completely unhinged. He's gone. Him explaining that this actually hurts him and that he hates how many people don't like him. No one wants to talk to him. No one wants to be his friend. They send him on missions and he does it and they just get scared of him more. The hardest line that he says is, I don't even get a name, only a purpose. Conquest.
That was
cinema.
So perfect.
Like that's peak cinema.
So perfect, bro.
Dude, oh my gosh. It's incredible. It's so good. And then Mark finally gets his get back when he's like, boom. And he's like,
oh my God.
You still having fun? And he's like, I just want, and then he hits him with the, I take the bad with the good. Or I take the good with the bad. And then it's like that. And he like starts smashing his head into him and kill. It's perfect.
Yep.
It's actually perfect. We didn't talk about Eve coming back to life, but Eve comes back to life, blasts him. Then Mark does the thing. And it's perfect. I couldn't have asked for more.
That whole sequence. Like, if I'm being for real, if I survived that like Mark, I would have been way more vulgar. I would have been like, I don't give a what happened to you. I don't care. I can see why they did that while I'm bashing my head into him. I would have been like, you sick mother. Like, I love
the dialogue they add for him.
That dialogue was incredible. It's so good. That was... Bro, that was definitely better than the issues. I think it was 2 issues that went into it for that Conquest.
It's 2 or 3, I forget though.
2 or 3, but that was definitely better than the comic books.
Oh, for sure.
That was 1000% better.
No. Yeah. I think like I get a certain joy from reading it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like for the first time, like nothing will change that. But no,
that was way better.
The show does it better. It really does. And you know what's crazy? How many times can you say that about?
You really can't.
You can't. You really can't. Like I don't know how many people when people ask me like, should I read the comics? I go, yeah, because they're great. But like the show is doing it, but better.
You know what? I'm gonna say this though. If you haven't read the comics yet, don't read them now. I'm being for real. Don't read them now.
Yeah.
No, because one thing that did suck watching this episode a little bit for me was I kind of knew, and I love that they changed some stuff because we knew exactly what was going to happen. But I love that we could say there were 4 things that they changed that were awesome. The dialogue with Conquest, the blood bubble in space, the giving Eve a little bit more oomph in the fights.
The dialogue they add for Invincible when he's killing
that
him.
too.
Yeah.
Like that was perfect, and I love that. But now I'm being for real. If you guys have not read the comics, don't read it now. Just watch the show. Watch the show,
That's
then
valid,
finish
yeah.
it after, because I feel like it's somewhat ruining some surprises for me. And now I'm
Oh,
not
for sure.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
same.
read any comics going forward because I feel like
Oh, I've been cheating a little bit.
yeah, no, I've definitely been cheating. Like every single time I've been reading, like as I go. But now I'm like, no, I want to be a little bit more surprised because I feel like Robert Kirkman is cooking, and I love the fact that he's also going to be changing some things in the future. I don't know what it's going to be. We don't know, but
There's one thing we know, and let's talk about it now. So at the end of the
Yeah.
episode, obviously, it ends with Mark being like, "I won't hesitate to kill him, kill anyone."
yeah,
Love that. But the thing they change is Darkblood's back. Damien Darkblood's back. And
Yeah.
I was watching it, and I'm like, why don't I remember this? What is this? I don't understand. And I was like, am I dumb? I looked at my comics. I'm like, I go up to issue like 90, and I'm
Yep.
like, does this not exist?
Yep.
It's really cool. So I guess Robert Kirkman always wanted to do this, and he never got to. So now they're doing it.
I was wondering about that when I was reading the comics, like before, like the show came out.
Yeah, because
For
they kind of
reasons.
just get rid of Darkblood like
Pretty
for
much.
a while. Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, so I'm excited. I love
Yep.
that he's treating this like a rewrite and he's changing things that he sees fit, but he's also keeping basically everything. It's awesome. I love it. What would you rate this season out of 10?
Oh, a 10,
Yeah.
a 15 if I can.
Is this one of the best seasons of television ever for you?
I want to chill out because I haven't seen a lot of television.
But for you though, like from the TV
Yes.
seasons, like okay, cool. Yeah.
Yes, my
I
bad.
would say the same thing. I feel like I haven't watched a whole lot of TV either, but when I put it in places for me, like Daredevil season 3, final season of Breaking Bad, and then like Invincible season 3, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, 100%. I think this is one of the best
Yeah.
seasons of television.
That's why I
I've
didn't
seen.
want to say anything yet
No,
because
no.
I've been going through Breaking Bad and I really like it and I can see like I feel like it's gonna hit because you keep
One of
hyping
it,
up season 5.
yeah, one of is different than the best. You know, we're saying one of the best, and it is.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and I'm happy to see so many people think that. You know, it was almost one of the first episodes ever, or second episode ever, to have a 10 out of 10 user rating
Yep.
on IMDb. It was right there.
Season 5, episode 13. Of
The
Breaking
Ozymandias
Bad, right?
episode of Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
at 10.
I saw it pop up.
It
I was
finally
like,
got
"Damn."
dropped to a 9.9 for Invincible, and I was like, dang, I would have loved for it to stay at 10. But yeah, it's
Oh my bad.
great. No, nothing. I'm happy. I'm very happy. It sucks we have to wait a year, maybe even longer.
I'm totally fine with that, bro. Keep
Yeah.
cooking. This is the formula. I say they stick to it.
Here's the thing.
Foley, go crazy on the animation for fights, especially that big, and then just give us the story.
Give me great writing. Yeah. You know, like again, like if they, here's the thing though, if they wanted to delay it and they said, I want to give you the best product, I want the best animation, whatever, I'd be okay with that. It's at this point though, I'm perfectly fine with whatever they do as long as it's still quality.
Yeah.
That's what I want, you know, because there are the people that are like, I don't care if it's anything, and like it could be whatever, and I'm like, there is a part of me that still wants it to be great, like I
Yeah.
want it to look good. So for me, it's if they think they can meet an expectation within a year, do it.
Yep.
If you need to wait 2 years, do it. Invincible season 1 to season 2 was so different because season 1 had 3 years of production.
Yep.
Most people didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
Season 1 to season 2 took so long because Skybound went independent,
Yeah.
and they formed their own studio with less people. And this season 1 had 2 teams working on it. This season 2 had 1 team working on it that was a lot smaller. Season 3, same thing. Season 4, hopefully they'll hire more people. They'll make it a little bigger, get hopefully a bigger budget, I think. But a lot of people are like, it's a budget problem. It's not a budget, it's a time problem. Really, it's a time problem. So, like, get more people, get more budget, get more time, and we'll see. Let's see what they cook in a year. I'm excited. I can't wait for season 4. We know what happens. We're not going to say it. We're excited. It's
We're
going to be
definitely not.
hopefully great. I love Invincible. You love Invincible. We love movies and TV.
I don't want to finish it off yet, though.
Oh, you want to keep going?
I wanna
Okay.
say one more
We
thing.
have 9 minutes.
Okay. Tell me why
Tell me why.
Invincible, Adam Eve, and Rexplode, along with Oliver, are just... Well, you know what? Scratch that. Tell me why Rexplode and Oliver are better than all of the superheroes outside of Invincible and Adam Eve.
Oh, like in the universe, Invincible universe?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that whole fight happened, and I'm going to get to Rexplode in a sec, but that whole fight happened, and they all show up late. They all do. And then they're just like, oh. I'm like, where the hell were you guys during the fight? where were you guys? Where were y'all? And I understand it's like, oh, well, what could they even do? But it just sucks that they don't do anything.
Like, don't even try.
They don't do anything. And then, like, Rexplode, such a G. I love you in season 3. I love how they did him in season 3 because he is the only other superhero outside of maybe a couple of them they didn't get named, but he's the only one between him and Immortal that killed an Invincible variant. Immortal got his head chopped off again.
Dude, Immortal, for real, retired once Conquest showed up. The Immortal hate is funny, but I did see a TikTok post, and I really liked it because I think it's easy. It's fun to hate on Immortal.
I like that.
No. Yeah, it's fun to hate on Immortal as much as we can, but I saw a really cool post, and I want to say it here. It says this. You see, referring to Immortal, you see a fraud who always loses. I see a human given the worst superpower you can get, yet still protects humanity anytime he can. A man who knows he's outmatched, yet shows up anyway.
Okay, before I say anything, what do you think about that?
I like it. I agree. They're not wrong. Yeah, he doesn't show up for Conquest, but that man has been living for hundreds of years. That man freed the slaves, you know?
Okay, but for hundreds of years, he didn't get any stronger?
But, like, that's not how
he didn't get any stronger.
No, but that's not how his power works. You got to think about, like, a Viltrumite. A Viltrumite, as they age, they get stronger.
Yeah.
Immortal is just a dude.
Oh, he couldn't work out?
He works out. But, like, that's not going to match it up.
It should!
No, it shouldn't.
It
shouldn't. That's not how it works. Look,
you telling me that man can't just lift some weights or something, get a little stronger so he can get a little more oomph on his punches? A little bit more? Then what is the purpose of Immortal? Just to be there?
But no, that's him. It's the fact that no matter how outmatched he is, he still shows up anyway. That's a hero.
Just to clarify too, I still love the comic books, and I do love these characters. I just love the hate.
Yeah, it's fun. No, I agree. It's so funny.
But it's just like thinking about it more and more, and the TV show keeps showing me more and more. Because I remember I'm not going to say anything else, but I'm just like, the TV show is showing me these heroes, besides the ones that we know and love, are so useless. Cecil's useless too.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it. Let's talk about it really fast. We have like 4 minutes.
Okay,
so
we'll do it real fast.
Cecil probably makes the worst decision he could possibly make by keeping Conquest alive.
He is such a freaking
Such a dummy, bro. I was waiting for that, like, the turn. It seems like a good amount of people are being like, yeah, maybe Cecil is kind of stupid. Like, he takes it too far. This is one of those situations where I vibe with him a lot, but that I was like, see, you really think like a room that's wired to explode is gonna... No. Dude, did you see, like, Invincible barely took him out.
Exactly.
You know, like...
And then he was like, oh, well, these bombs are going to take him out. I'm like, bro, did you not see their punches? Their impact alone literally was more than a nuclear bomb. You dropped
a laser beam on Omni-Man, and it gave him a blood... You literally said, that's the most expensive nosebleed ever.
And then Brody, the scientists literally told him, they're saying that he's stronger than Omni-Man, and you're just like, oh, give him some bombs, and if he leaves, they'll just blow up. I'm like, bro, yeah, I don't think you realize how stupid that is.
The only way I could justify it is he's so desperate right now to understand what the Viltrum Empire is that he'll take any means necessary to do it. No. Which still aligns with Cecil's character, but yeah, it's stupid.
He's an idiot.
Anything else you want to say with 3 minutes left?
You know what? I need way more. I'll answer that in a sec. I need people to realize this show is doing something that no other superhero show has done. And I need this to finish up. I need this.
Please, yeah.
Not just season 4, season 5. I need it to go all 8 or 9 seasons. I think it's going to be 8 or 9.
I think they're shooting for 8. They said 7 or 8.
I need it to finish up. So keep giving hype to this show. Keep going in with the theories. Keep going in. And please don't read the comics. If you haven't read the comics yet, don't read it yet. Read it after everything's over. But please, guys, go in. And also, this was the Film Podcast.